Welcome to another deep dive. This time we're exploring contemporary African photography. And, we're going to go deeper than just like a list of names, right?
Swiftly.
We're going to figure out like what makes these photographers' work tick.
Yeah.
Like why is it so special?
Exactly. And a great jumping off point for us today is this FABL style article, Top 5 African Photographers and Why They Stand Out.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So our goal today is to go past just like, just their names, but really get into their style, what they do, what makes them stand out, and why their work is just so powerful.
Yeah.
So first up, Safa Mazir from Morocco, and I think it's super cool that she's totally self-taught.
Yeah, that speaks volumes, right?
Oh, no.
But I think it's her use of black and white that really sets her apart. When you get rid of color, you really start to see the interplay between light and shadow in a different way. And it makes like these everyday scenes feel almost surreal.
It's true. It's not just like what she photographs. It's HLW. She does it right.
Yeah.
By taking out the color, it's like you're forced to experience the like raw emotion and texture.
For sure. With black and white, you're not distracted by all those vivid colors. You're drawn to the composition, the subject's expression, the little details, and it creates this kind of like timeless mood.
Okay, well, let's switch gears a little to Fatma Fahmy. She's an Egyptian photographer, but based in South Africa. And she's all about capturing those like spontaneous moments, those little stories that happen every day.
So picture this. You're on a tram in Alexandria, just lost in your own thoughts. And Fahmy's there, quietly capturing all the different emotions happening around you.
Oh, I love that. It's like you're so caught up in your own little world, you don't even notice someone is like documenting it all. It's almost like getting a peek into this like secret world.
Exactly. It's like the heart of street photography, right? Capturing these real moments, the stuff that makes up the city. And it's magical, those fleeting expressions, those unguarded moments that tell you so much about a person.
It's wild how one photo can tell a whole story,
Yeah.
Capture an emotion, a shared experience. Like I remember seeing one of Fahmy's photos. There was this young woman staring out the tram window, and her reflection was, a mix of boredom and longing. Just so relatable.
It shows you the power of observation, finding beauty and meaning in like the everyday things. Fahmy's work makes you pay attention to the world around you, and see the stories that are happening everywhere.
So we've got Fahmy finding these unplanned moments, but then there's Kadara Enyasi from Nigeria. He finds beauty in the ordinary and uses his art to transform it.
His journey's interesting. He started out photographing his family, like a lot of us do when we first get into photography. But then he developed this deep understanding of light and shadow and form, and his work just went to another level.
The article called his work Poetic Beauty, and that's like the perfect description. It's like he takes these regular things and turns them into art.
Yeah, he elevates the mundane, finds beauty in the unexpected places, and uses light and shadow to create drama and depth. It's like he's not just capturing a scene, he's shaping it into a work of art.
Almost like he's painting with light, right?
Exactly. That's what sets apart fine art photography. It's not just documenting reality, it's about using the camera to make art express emotions, convey a message.
So now let's talk about someone who really challenges the idea that technique is everything in photography. Phumzile Kanyal from South Africa. She might just change your mind.
Kanyal actually started with painting. That was her first love, and that really shows in her photography. Technique is important, but for her, it's all about the emotion, the story.
It's like she uses the camera like a paintbrush to tell stories, capture the essence of her subjects, even in just small gestures. Like I saw this one portrait of hers, just a woman's hands, they were weathered from age, holding a worn-out photo. So simple, but it said so much about her life, her memories.
Exactly. It's about looking deeper, capturing someone's soul, their story. Kanyal's work reminds us that photography can tell powerful stories. It's not just technical stuff, it's about connecting with your subject, their emotions, sharing that with the world.
And to wrap things up, we have Prince Gyasi from Ghana. He brings something really unique to the table.
His story's fascinating. When he was a kid, he was captivated by this market photographer. It sparked his interest early on. Then he explored painting and developed this passion for visual art.
And that's what makes his work so interesting. He combines his love for both photography and painting to create these striking, thought-provoking pieces.
Yeah, it's like a fusion. He's not bound by the traditional rules of either medium. He uses both to create something completely new, something that's hard to define.
It really makes you wonder, like, what does that fusion even look like? How does he blend those two worlds together? It makes you want to check out his work and see for yourself.
Definitely. His work shows you the possibilities of creativity, Breaking those traditional barriers can lead to some really innovative stuff.
It's inspiring to see these photographers not just mastering their craft, but pushing the boundaries of what photography can even be.
That's the beauty of art, right? It's always evolving, always challenging us to see the world in new ways.
And speaking of new ways, we've just scratched the surface here. These are only 5 of the many talented African photographers out there making a splash.
It's important to remember we're just getting a glimpse into this huge, vibrant world of contemporary African art. There are so many other amazing artists waiting to be discovered.
Absolutely. And that's what makes exploring the art world so exciting. There's always something new to see, new ideas, new beauty to appreciate.
And it's important to remember, African art, it's not all one thing.
Right. It's like we always say, Africa's not a monolith.
Exactly. It's a continent with so many different cultures, traditions, ways of making art.
And you see that reflected in these photographers' work, right? Like you've got Safa Mazir with her surreal black and white stuff, and then Prince Kiasi who's mixing media. It's like a whole range of styles that really make you rethink what African art can be.
It shows you how much creative energy and talent there is across the continent.
For sure. And it highlights how important it is to, seek out these artists from different backgrounds. Their voices add so much to the art world. They make us see things differently, think differently. So as we wrap up our deep dive into these incredible photographers, I've got a question for you listening. If you could have one of these photographers capture your everyday life, who would you pick and why? What story would you want them to tell?
Ooh, that's a good one. Would you want the raw street photography style of Fatma Fahmy? Or maybe the poetic beauty of Kadara Enyasi's work? Or the emotional depth of Famzile Kanyaya's portraits?
It's cool to think about, right?
Okay.
Because each photographer has their own way of seeing the world and how they might capture those little moments in our lives.
It reminds us that art isn't just something to look at. It's something to connect with, to find meaning in.
So go check out these amazing artists. Safa Mazir, Fatma Fahmy, Kadara Enyasi, Famzile Kanyaya, and Prince Kiasi. Their work is online, and it's seriously impressive.
Their art shows you the power of creativity, the beauty of diversity, and how important it is to see the world through different lenses.
And hey, maybe this deep dive will inspire you to grab a camera and start capturing the beauty and stories around you.
We all have a unique perspective to share, and photography can be a great way to express yourself. Tell stories, connect with the world.
Exactly. So keep exploring, keep learning, keep those creative juices flowing.
Until next time, keep diving deep into the amazing world of art and culture.
See you later. When you think about it, it's amazing how photography can connect us to different cultures and ways of seeing things.
Yeah, and it's a good reminder that art can help us understand and appreciate different experiences. And like we've seen with these photographers, African art isn't just one thing.
Right, it's a mix of so many different styles and voices and perspectives.
Absolutely. And we've really just started to explore, contemporary African photography. There's a whole world out there. It's so true. So we encourage you to keep exploring on your own, check out other African photographers, their stories. Let yourself get lost in the beauty of their arts.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe you'll even feel inspired to pick up a camera and start capturing the world through your own lens.
That's what we hope for. Always keep learning, always keep exploring, and let those creative sparks keep flying.
Until next time, everyone, keep diving deep.
See ya.